Hello, Brian. I was doing a stream not that long ago on Black Ops 4 Zombies, but you weren't there. Man, two great guns of this game. Already got them just now. Oh fuck, hellhounds. Yeah, I've got better internet now, and I've got a mini arena. It's free though. I'm sure you're able to get it, man. It's free. And plus, you could have pre-registered. Or do you not have a phone anymore? Oh. I haven't seen it yet. For some reason, I'm not able to. Even though it's already been a day, and I thought they would have released it for free for like all members, not just first members. So I'm not able to watch it until they actually do put it up for basic accounts. Because I don't have the first membership, I have to pay for it. Or I might just wait to get the DVD. Nope. There we go. Wait, no. We already listened to that one. Yeah, nah.
Cover me, reloading.
Why November?
Gotta reload.
Oh, nice. Well, happy early birthday.
I'm gonna play me some doctor. Fuck you, Atlas. I'm hit!
Ethernet. And Comcast had to change the modem, and they finally changed it to an actual modem that actually fucking works for once. So yeah. But we also wasted like $100-something on the 2-in-1 router and modem thing to boost up the internet. And apparently I still can't load up the PlayStation Store no matter what. So it's not the internet, it's something to do with something else that I can't open up the PlayStation Store. But other than that, everything works fine. It's just that I can't download games, I can't like go to the PlayStation Store, stuff like that. But everything else works just fine. Such as online play.
I'm gonna cook me some
Yep,
zombies.
and I can kick your ass in multiplayer without lag. Shit.
Ow! Ew, that'll turn your stomach.
No more McDonald's Wi-Fi. Shit.
What the hell does she mean by that? Oh! Really? I think he got me.
Yep, and fuck BO3. You got Advanced Warfare, Brian? Or anyone else that's watching the stream? Because if any one of you guys has Advanced Warfare, we could play it. Nah. Look at all these people, man. This is my entire friends list, man. Got like 500 something people. 534 friends on my PSN account. Holy shit. For PS3, I forgot. I forgot they had PS3 version. Man, Brian, if you get Dark Souls 3, good luck with that, man. Shit's difficult. I beat the main game, I think. I just haven't beaten the DLC yet. And I've got it here on PS4. They've gotta update Grim Eclipse on console, man. Seriously. Other person that didn't really answer in the comments yet. Do you have Advanced Warfare besides Brian and Player Gaz?
On all frequencies. To all survivors, stay coordinates and remain in place.
We read you, Eagle One. Got 4 survivors requesting an exfil. Do you... Oh, shit. Hello? Hello? Not enough money.
Yeah, I know Grim Eclipse is the same on PC. And I saw that on PC, they haven't released the full update. It looks like they're just gonna spoon feed it to everyone, which is like a little bullshit. But then again, it makes sense because, I mean, it's Grim Eclipse. They didn't care about it at all. And if they're going to spoon feed it, then I guess that means that they're actually going to put effort into making the game better. And making it an actual fucking game. Because Grim Eclipse, keep in mind, this is a game that's notorious for not being updated for like 5 fucking years. And now they're finally releasing stuff for it, but they're going to be spoon feeding it from what I've seen. And on PC, they've only got 2 new maps for the Horde mode, which is like a survival mode, where you have to survive like 10 or 8 waves on specific maps, while defending like security nodes. And in that mode, it gets pretty boring. But it's also like one of the only modes in that game. Keep in mind, out of 2 modes in that game, there's only 2 modes, and the Horde mode is the only fun mode. The campaign in that game is just 10 boring ass story missions that are just repetitive and barely have any changes to them. And then out of the 2 Horde mode maps that they added in that recent patch or whatever, or so-called patch or whatever for the PC, they also released 2 DLC skin packs, which is stupid. Because I don't care about DLC, I care about actual fucking content. And that game, legitimately, not counting any of the new maps that they recently added, they only have 10 story maps and then 3 horde mode maps. That's just 13 maps. Keep in mind, they recently added only 2 maps, and that boosts the number up to 15. And all the maps are just the same, they just have different sizes, as all. You know, let's just say Grim Eclipse is a terrible fucking game and should have never been made. It should have been scrapped, and yeah. Thing is, they just don't give 2 shits about it. It's a terrible fucking game. Like, honestly, if you guys look on my channel, you'll see my video for Grim Eclipse. And Grim Eclipse is just a terrible fucking game. And Brian X here will certainly agree with me. And keep in mind, this game is so fucking small. The only thing that's good about it is the fucking music. Just the music. The combos are fucking trash. The fucking buttons, like, only, like, 2 freaking attack buttons. Just square and triangle. Press square 1 time, and that's just a light attack. Press square 2 times, 2 light attacks in a row. And just so forth. But it only goes up to, like, pressing square 4 times as the maximum. Pressing triangle will be like just ending off the light attack combo with the strong attack. But keep in mind, that's like the only, like, honestly, like, the game's trash. Let's just say that. And the sound effects for the game are just bland, common, and boring. They don't add anything new to it. They are just the same thing over and over. Like, I've heard worse sound effects and music, or no, worse sound effects and seen worse, like, ways to play in a video game than Grim Eclipse. Well, besides Grim Eclipse, I've seen horrible soundtrack stuff and all that, like horrible problems in other games, such as Agents of Mayhem, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, and many others. But those games aren't as bad as Grim Eclipse. They're close to be as bad, but not that close. Grim Eclipse is the worst video game to ever be made, based off of a show, series, or movie or whatever. It's the worst freaking product in the world. It never should have been made. It always should have been a failure from the start, and it honestly just ruined it just wasted everyone's time, basically. Now, if they're actually going to update the game, which I'm sure they are, since they already added just two horde maps to make the number of horde maps 5 recently for that update on PC only, and the console will get everything later. I don't care what live stream it is. I'm gonna talk shit about Grim Eclipse every second I get. But basically, Grim Eclipse is such a shit game They put zero effort into it. All of the DLC is just stupid skin packs. You've got boring ass maps, so generic you can't even grasp how much effort they put into it. Because they literally put negative 1,000 effort into that game. They gave two shits about it. Two shits, man. And guess how much the game fucking is? $20. On Steam right now it's $10 for sale. And then it's gonna go back to $20. If it was $60, don't even buy it. That would be a bad price. And the story, keep in mind, it's a poor story for the game. It's a separate story from the show. And it just features Team Ruby finding out about Dr. Merlot, who happened to be a mad scientist for Merlot Industries, who would then try to create a mutant Deathstalker, and Team Ruby would have to fight it off in the end. Well, yeah, and Team Juniper, but Team Juniper was a... Well, no, Team Ranger, or Team Juniper would also have to fight that as well. The thing is, the game is only going up to 4 players, and there are upgrades and skill points and all that, but you only get 10 of them. 10. Just 10. You can't get all of them like you'd want to. It's just where you buy the ones that you want, and keep in mind some of them cost like 2 skill points, but then others cost like 1 skill point. And then you can't have all of the freaking upgrades, because it only gives you 10 skill points. And some of those upgrades help out your freaking fighting moves in the game when you're fighting off the enemies. But the game doesn't tell you how to use those buttons on the controller to activate those special moves from the upgrades. It doesn't give you any whatsoever tutorial in the game at all. And then freaking, you got the stupid looking freaking maps. The graphics are just fucking ass, although I don't give a shit about graphics whatsoever. You guys know that if you've been on the channel, you've heard me say that graphics don't really matter as long as you can recognize what you're supposed to be looking at. Yeah, I'd say Grim Eclipse was rushed. You're exactly right, Brian. You're exactly right. And keep in mind, Grim Eclipse, they do have it at an okay price point. But Grim Eclipse just sucked ass. Like, honestly, I have my own community for it on PlayStation Network called Ruby Grim Eclipse Hey Now. And at the time when I made that community, it was on the day or the day after I bought the game, which came out on January 17th of 2017, which was last year. Which, on that release day, I didn't know it released, but when I came home that night and I had $20 or something on me, I spent money on a PlayStation card, and when I got home and redeemed it, I saw that they had the game in the PlayStation Store, and I bought it, and I was so happy. When I finished the game story and went through the horde mode a lot and got most of the trophies already, keep in mind I only have like 2 trophies left until platinum on that game. Yes, it was a platinum for that shit game. And it failed. It was a boring game. You could finish it within 1 fucking hour if you wanted to. And the difficulties, they don't change the actual damage rate that the enemies have towards you. They only change how many enemies show up in the game once you're in a match. That's all difficulties do in that game. They just change the amount of enemies are there. And then the soundtrack is just music from the actual show, but it's turned down a little bit so you can actually hear what you're doing in the game. But I would have much preferred to be able to hear the music more than the game, because the game sound effects suck ass. Like, literally, all you're hearing is just grunts and gurs in the game. That's all you're hearing. Some of the dialogue in the game is okay, but it's not the best. And then you've got like some of the characters like Ruby Rose and then Yang Xiaolong that have some lines in the game. And they do fit the characters okay, but they weren't executed very well because they weren't given much background to them. And then you've got some other characters playing as them, such as Ren. He just doesn't really feel right to play. It's as if he's like the only bad character to play as in the game. And he's not too bad of a character, but he is the worst character to play as in the game, I'd say. The rest of the characters are just fine. But the two characters that you'd mainly want to play as in the game are Ruby Rose and Jean Arc. Those are two main characters that you'd want to play as in that game, because they're the two most overpowered characters to play as in that game. And then they barely reference like any other characters in the game. Like the only characters that actually make somewhat of an appearance in the game are the characters from Team Ruby and the characters from Team Juniper. And yes, Blake can be OP, but I just don't play as her that much. But other characters that appear in the game are Dr. Melo and Ozpin. The other characters that appear are just the ones from Team Ruby and Team Juniper. Those characters being Ruby Rose, Weiss Schnee, Blake Belladonna, Yang Xiaolong, Jean Arc, Nora Valkyrie, Ren Lian, or whatever his last name was, and then Nora, or Pura Nikos. And those are the characters that show up in the game, that actually have an appearance in the game. And the enemies are just the same enemies over and over. There's no variation. The only map that has a different variation is the last freaking few maps. The last map in the story mode, however, does feature an interesting boss fight, but it's a little hectic because then you just get the same 3 types of robots in that last mission. There's 3 different types of robots enemies in the game, and those are the ones that show up constantly in the last mission. And Brian will know this, they just like pop up everywhere when you're trying to fight the last boss, which is supposed to be like a mutant death stalker, and it's supposed to be like this like giant scorpion monster, and you just have to run up to its tail and attack it once it lands in the ground. And then while you're trying to fight the boss, you're also trying to fight off a bunch of freaking stupid annoying robots. And one of the robots is like a red type robot, and he has like a double-edged spear, or double-bladed spear. And they'll just come up to you over and over every 2 seconds and annoy the shit out of you. And you're gonna go down constantly, over and over. And keep in mind, difficulties don't mean shit in that game. At all. They just change the amount of enemies that'll show up. And then you've also got the XP. It's an okay amount of time to level up. I don't really care, because there is literally no meaning to leveling up in that game at all. Only thing that you would do in that game, like for leveling up, is just fight enemies, find secret artifacts hidden within each map, with each map having 4 artifacts within them, and then You've got the crates and other objects to break in the game that will also give you XP to level up. But keep in mind, you can only level up to level 10, and you get 10 skill points in the game. Maximum. Just 10 skill points. When there's like 20 or 25 upgrades to buy. But some of those upgrades cost 2 skill points. And it's like, what the fuck? You know? But you know what? I'm gonna just go into a match. But seriously, Grim Eclipse sucks ass. Real ass. Like, honestly. Oh, and keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier about the game's, like, upgrades, giving you, like, special moves or whatever, it doesn't tell you how to execute those moves. In order to find out how to learn those moves from the upgrades, you literally have to go onto the Steam page and look for a user-created guide just to learn those specific upgraded moves.
I fucking hate
Let me
this
repeat,
shit.
a user-created
Really?
guide to learn freaking fighting moves in a game about hack and slashing stupid generic ass monsters. And keep in mind, this game doesn't tell you shit on how to play. There's no tutorial whatsoever. Like, honestly, this game sucks ass. Like, honestly, Grim Eclipse is such a bad game. And I've played other worse games too, but Grim Eclipse is gotta take the tape. Gotta take the cake. It's like, honestly, it's a terrible game. Yeah, exactly, Castle Crashers, that's a great game. I remember I played it one time when I was a little bit younger. When I was, being babysat when I was a kid by this fucking nuts, by this one fucking nutcase when I was a kid. He was, like, babysitting me with his family. And, like, on their Xbox, I, played Castle Crashers with them, and it was pretty fun. And then, I was playing that, and just looking back on that game, they could have done something different with Grim Eclipse, where they could have just made it like Castle Crashers. Because that was a good type of genre, to be honest.
It feeds on grenades? Hardly seem worth it. You can do better than that. That's it.
But yeah, Grim Eclipse sucks ass.
There's gotta be more Atlas gear we can
Like,
use
honestly, I could talk shit about Grim Eclipse for like 2 days straight. That's how bad it is.
This'll work.
It's such a bad game. And Brian knows that. He's played it with me multiple times.
Teleport
He's
grenade.
in the community that I created a year ago for that game on PlayStation Network. Him and I have known each other for a couple months now. And we both know that Grim Eclipse is a very shit game with little to no, absolute zero effort. It's like they were trying to make a fucking game, but then someone decided to turn that game into a pile of shit, and it came out as a pile of shit with multiple other piles of shit causing radiation to cause the building to explode. That's literally what the game is. It's a pile of shit. It's a pile of my own shit with its hand going up its ass to pull out more shit. That's how bad the game is. That's how bad Ruby Grim Eclipse is in terms of video games. It's a very bad video game. The only thing that makes it okay is the fucking music. Which is, keep in mind, the music in the game copied from copied from the show.
I don't hear any more of them.
Oh, Black Ops 4, I fucking love Black Ops 4, dude. I love it. It's amazing. Black Ops 4 is fucking amazing, dude. Get me to play that with you,
I need some more
and
rounds.
we'll be right on it. Yeah, Black Ops 4, guys. Because if so, we could play that sometime, man.
Gonna run out.
If you have Black Ops 4, guys, we could play it together.
All right.
Actually, me, you, and Brian could play it together. We could all play it together, all three of us. Now, Black Ops 4. It's an amazing game.
Power.
I love it. It's a very fun game. Highly recommend it. My only problems with it are starting with multiplayer, and I'm not gonna count Blackout because I don't play Blackout that often. But starting with my problems for multiplayer in terms of custom games and in actual games. I usually go to the public matches, right? And I go to like team deathmatch or domination. And when I go to public matches, one of the problems is the fucking spawns. The spawns in the game suck ass. They always spawn you near an enemy, even though your team is still spawning at that spot. And then the enemy players keep spawning at that same spot as well. And then they just kill you right away. Or sometimes you get spawn killed with freaking score streaks or some of the specialist abilities and all that. And those get real annoying real quick. Another example. If you're in custom games, and don't mind my character dying, I just fucked up. If you go to custom games, and set settings all the way high and all that for what you can do in the match, like how long time limit is and all that, no matter what you do, and if it's a late match and you're about to win or about to lose or whatever, and the score is already close to the score limit, the game will crash and just set you back to the lobby screen of the custom games and give you an error code. It does it every fucking time. And then, some of the score streaks in the game, like the attack helicopter, sniper nest, the dart just sucks ass. But the sniper nest, attack helicopter, hellstorm, lightning strike, and the RCXD, those are the ones that get annoying the most in the game. Besides that, everything else is just fine. Oh, and the strike team, that also gets annoying. The strike team as well. Now the specialist weapons and abilities that get annoying in that game, I'm just gonna name a couple. The Firebreak's Radiator, Seraph's Annihilator, the Rune's Gravity Spikes, those can get annoying too, but not as much. But yeah. Well, the black market this time for Black Ops 4 is actually pretty good if you think about it. And plus there's nothing wrong with it. And you just don't like it because Fortnite did it.
Damn right.
No, that sucks. But yeah, Brian, it's not bad that they added a battle pass, and plus those people that don't like that they added a battle pass just like they did for Fortnite, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that those Fortniters don't like Black Ops 4 having a battle pass because they think it's just copying. Who gives a shit, okay? Like, seriously. It doesn't matter, it's just a fucking battle pass. I mean, every other game out there is gonna have it at some point if they have Battle Royale mode in their game. I mean, Black Ops 4 has it, PUBG is already on it as well, and Fortnite did it, but yeah. Like, who cares? It's just a battle pass. Every game with the Battle Royale mode is gonna feature it at some point. Like, come on.
There's gotta be more Atlas gear we can use around here. Damn, gotta watch my ammo. Ah, hell, there's more? I need some more rounds. I got nothing? Pay for me. Really? Nothing? Fuck you! Of course there would be no power. Damn it, I'm out! All right, now let's get to it.
I haven't played Modern Warfare 2. Like, my first Call of Duty was Call of Duty 3, not Modern Warfare 3. People always mistake Call of Duty 3 for Modern Warfare 3, but that's not the one. I'm just saying the third Call of Duty ever made, Call of Duty 3. That's literally what it was called. But, yeah, that was my first Call of Duty. Then I think I moved on to Ghost, then Black Ops 2, and then the ones that came after Ghosts, like Advanced Warfare, then Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War 2, and now BF4. Those are all the Call of Duties I've played. Well, and Black Ops 1, and Modern Warfare Remastered. But we don't like to count Modern Warfare Remastered because we all know Modern Warfare Remastered was a shit game. We can all say that clearly. I thought they were all okay for what they were.
Nothing?
But my favorite card has got to be Black Ops 2.
Need more money to get that. Damn it, I'm out! They're getting close.
It was decent, but it just died off too quickly. And plus, the only way to get it at first was to get the Legacy Edition of Infinite Warfare, which, keep in mind, was a game that barely anyone was looking forward to. But I thought Infinite Warfare was okay. It was actually pretty good, especially as a campaign. But people just didn't have to come onto it because it was so futuristic, which I don't blame them. I didn't want a futuristic setting, but it was a pretty fun game nonetheless, I'm not gonna lie. And hit detection in that game was actually pretty fun to use. Like, honestly, hit detection in Infinite Warfare, it was fantastic. No doubt about it. But then, after like a couple months, once 2018 hit, I think they, or no, not 2018, but once 2017 hit, they released Modern Warfare Remastered separately onto the market, which didn't do too well because Modern Warfare Remastered already died out by then.
Got it. It feeds on grenades? Run out.
A DLC for which game? For Black Ops 3?
That's it.
Or Advanced Warfare? No, I don't have the fourth DLC for Advanced Warfare. I only have the first 3 DLC packs for Advanced Warfare. Those are the only ones I have. I don't have DLC 4. Because when I first got Advanced Warfare, I wasn't sure at the time that I wanted season pass, or maybe I did. I just didn't have the money. But then I spent money on the DLC separately, and yeah, let's just say that. But Call of Duty Ghosts, I also did the same thing, but I got all DLC for Call of Duty Ghosts. Because I'm gonna be honest, I love Call of Duty Ghosts, I'll be honest. People just didn't like Call of Duty Ghosts because of all the changes in it. Let's just say that. And plus, it was a good game, they just didn't realize it until it died out. That's the thing. They just didn't like it because they just made some changes that people didn't like. And it wasn't a bad game at all. It was a great game, they just never saw that.
Hope it fits.
But that's how everything goes with each and every new product, so you can't really change the public's opinion on everything. I thought Ghost was actually pretty fun. And I'ma stand by that opinion, man. Y'all can hate me, y'all can fucking bash on me, I don't give a shit. Ghost was the most amazing Call of Duty I've ever played, okay? I don't care if I'm on drugs, because Call of Duty Ghosts campaign was very freaking awesome. And I'm just waiting for that Call of Duty Ghosts 2 campaign just to finish it up. That's all I'd want from Call of Duty Ghosts 2. To finish that campaign. That's all I'd want. Well, I mean, yeah, Minecraft might die out at one point, but yeah, Minecraft's a pretty popular game as well.
Treasure drone. Got it. Get ready. I need some more rounds.
Unlimited ammo, baby.
Nice.
Absolutely. They cannot end up Call of Duty Ghosts without finishing that storyline. Because once they finish that storyline, then I'll be completely satisfied with it. But if they don't finish the storyline, and they never create a Call of Duty Ghosts 2, I'll just be pissed. Because I want that secondary campaign, man. They can't just leave it off on a cliffhanger like that. Like, seriously, man. That was one hell of a story mode. One hell of a story mode, man. Especially once Elias died. That was like, holy shit. And then Riley got shot. Dude, that man. Ah, man, I love that campaign. Whew. Now this stream has been going for a while, so I'll be coming back later today on stream later today because I gotta go get ready and go out today, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and my rant on Gurman Clips. A very shit game, keep in mind. And yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts will happen. Call of Duty Ghosts 2 is going to happen. Guaranteed. Wolf Dog out.